What's up, everybody? Blackacre here, your friendly neighborhood mass guitarist. And also, I'm the guitarist and backing vocalist of the band Convent, who you should go follow if you do not already. We have shirts available for $20. We sold out of the wall flag, so we don't have any more bundles. Shout out to everyone who bought a wall flag. I don't even have the one that I hung on my cab, so that's sick. Thank you guys for all the support. Our music video and single dropped last Friday, Dirt Doesn't Need Luck, so be sure to keep streaming that, show it to your friends. We're planning stuff for 2025 for shows and stuff, so I'd love to see more of y'all live, and hopefully we can come to a town near you if you don't live in the southeastern PA area. So yeah, first and foremost, I'm going to be using this channel as kind of a gateway into hopefully you guys supporting my band because, I like doing this stuff, but at the end of the day, my passion is my own music. So if you guys want to come along for the ride, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has so far. For this lesson, we're going to go into the shapes that Jim starts to show in the Guitar Moves interview. I noticed a couple things that I kind of want to clear up for people who might want to be getting into modes and exploring the fretboard and kind of opening up your lead vocabulary. I think this is a very important thing that Jim brings up, but also there's a little bit of things that I think I can clarify a little better because he says that he doesn't really know theory. And for all of us who are Joe Schmoes and not rock stars, I think it's important to learn theory personally. The stuff he says about worrying that if a note is right or not, I feel like that's a bit unfair because a lot of times you can learn it to break the rules, if that makes sense. Like, I know for Convent stuff, I can say that it helps knowing theory because I know what notes will sound cool. For example, like our new song that's not released yet, like the chorus is in Lydian, which kind of perks up your ear a little bit, especially in heavy music. That's a mode related to the major scale. So I knew what we were playing with, but also a lot of the riffs are very atonal and I'm using notes like chromatically, like I'm not borrowing from one specific key. So I really don't think it's going to, if any of you guys hear that and are worried about learning modes because you think it's going to like mess up your metal playing, please don't think that. I think it's important and it helps connect the dots as far as the fretboard. And I'll show you how you can right now. So let's get started. In the interview, he plays this shape. So what he's playing there, now I should also clarify, I'm in C# standard tuning. That's the tuning that they're in this interview, at least for this section. Now, if you're, I'm assuming you're coming here for my Slipknot stuff, so just tune your B string, if you're in drop B, up to a C#, and that's C# standard. So I'm going to say everything as if we were in E standard tuning. Please make a note of that. I'm not going to transpose and say like, oh, this is D Lydian. That would just take a lot of brain power, and I always practice in E standard when I'm learning scales and stuff and my more like, practice routine. So I'm just going to relate everything to E standard, but just keep in mind these would be the notes I'm saying would be the notes if we were in E standard. It's going to be the same shapes, but just keep that in mind. So I'm not going to say if we were in E standard like I do for my lessons. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm going to do that for the whole time. So if we were in E standard, that's the last time I'm going to say that, this would be F Lydian. Now, in my opinion, this isn't a great way to start because that's kind of confusing. What key this relates to is A minor. So, or A Aeolian, which is the name in the church modes. So, let me just put it this way. We're going to play every note on the fretboard that has no sharps or flats. That's all we're doing. And those notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And then we're back at A. So what he said in the interview is that his teacher taught him how to play in the key of A minor, which is, wildly popular for rock and metal stuff, so that's very helpful across the entire fretboard. Now, I'm going to show you the way he did things. It does make sense. I understand because if you start here, that's the beginning of the fretboard. However, learning F Lydian first, like you're probably not going to write a song in F Lydian. it's related to the major scale, so it's happy sounding. So you're probably not going to do that. But knowing the shape is great because it contains all the notes that we need, and you can quickly ascend through it, and you won't be able to tell that you're not going to resort home to F Lydian and make it sound F Lydian. So let's go through F Lydian. So all that is, as well, I'm going to explain all this stuff theory-wise. If you don't understand it or don't want to understand it, that's fine, but I'm going to try to be as thorough as I can and just pick out what you can. At the end of the day, the most important things are the notes. But the Lydian mode is the major scale or Ionian mode with a sharp fourth note. So our normal major scale would look like this. That would be F major. Now we're going to take that B flat and make it a B because the fourth note has to be sharp, right? Because this is a B flat and there's no sharps or flats in this key. So we have to make it a B. So it's going to be F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. I'm going to not try to go too in the weeds. This video is going to be like 45 minutes, but I want you guys to understand. This stuff is important in my opinion. And Jim says in the video, he thinks all of the modes are in this shape. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. I get what he's getting at. But to understand everything, we're going to move up the whole fretboard. What he's saying is all the notes are in there, and that's correct. Like, all of these notes, we're just repeating them, starting on different notes. But I'm going to show you guys all the shapes up the neck. All right, so I'm also going to do the way he did it. So we're going to ascend through F Lydian, and then we're going to descend through G Mixolydian. And that brings us to the next shape. So all G Mixolydian is again, it's related to the major scale, and we're going to have a flatted seventh. Again, if we had a normal major scale, we'd have an F sharp, which would make this E minor or G major, but we can't do that. So we have to make that an F, because there's no sharps or flats in this key. So another pretty popular one in rock stuff, because it has it's a little more rocky sounding, a little more mean sounding than the major. So Mixolydian would be G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then back to G. So in this case, the way he's playing it, I'll show you guys that. So we're going to ascend through F Lydian. The shape that we're going to play is going to be 1, 3, 5 on the 6th string. I'm going to include tabs, by the way. I know I'm not a big tab guy, but since I'm doing this, I can accurately 100% say these tabs are accurate. So it's going to be 1, 3, 5, 6th string, 2, 3, 5, 5th string, 2, 3, 5 on the 4th string, 2, 4, 5 on the 3rd string, 3, 5, 6 on the 2nd string, and then to finish it off, we're going to do 3, 5, 7 on the 1st string. So it's going to be... And then we're going to go up. This is going to descend through G Mixolydian. So we're going to go... Again, all we're playing is just notes without sharps or flats. That's it. So we're going to go 8, 7, 5 on the 1st string, 8, 6, 5 on the 2nd string, 7, 5, 4 on the 3rd string, and then we're going to go 7, 5, 3 on the bottom 3 strings. So 4, 5, 6. Okay, and this is what Jim shows in the video, just those two, but I'm going to keep continuing it all the way up the neck so you guys know how to play. If you're in, someone says, hey, we're in A minor, you have this whole fretboard to work with now. And by knowing this, you're also going to know other keys. You just have to think a little bit. But by giving you this kind of little tidbit, someone could say, hey, we're going to write a song in F sharp minor. And you're like, all right, whatever. So let's get back to it. So we're going to go. All right, so that's F Lydian, G Mixolydian. Next is nice and easy home bass. This is A minor, A Aeolian, which is the mode name. So all this is going to be, we're going to ascend this. So this is going to be, it's just the natural minor scale. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. Okay. So we're going to go 5, 7, 8 on the 6th and 5th strings. And then we're going to go 5, 7, 9 on the 4th and 3rd strings. Then we're going to move up to the 6th fret and do 6, 8, 10 on the 2nd string, and then finish it off with 7, 8, 10 on the 1st string. So we got... All right, so far we got 3 positions. We're going to do... Which brings us to the next shape. Now this is going to be B Locrian. I think some people say Locrian. I say Locrian. So what Locrian is the minor scale, but we're going to do a flatted 2nd and a flatted 5th. So it's very evil sounding. So here's the normal minor scale. This was just B minor. And this is the Locrian scale. Locrian mode. So it's a fun pattern to play because it's very repetitive. And in my opinion, it just sounds pretty evil. So this is going to be, we're going to descend through B Locrian. So this is going to be 12, 10, 8 on the 1st and 2nd strings. Then we're going to do 10, 9, 7 on the 3rd and 4th strings. Then we're going to do that shape that I just showed you, 10, 8, 7 on the 5th and 6th strings. Okay, so now we're getting we're venturing past just being able to do like A minor stuff. Whatever you want. So let's play slowly what we have so far. We're getting there. Next up is going to be C major, which you guys probably know has no sharps or flats. So that's, the relative major to A minor. We're going to go 8, 10, 12 on the 6th and 5th strings. And then we're going to do 9, 10, 12 on the 4th and 3rd strings. Then we're going to go 10, 12, 13 on the 2nd and 1st strings. So that's just the straight up major scale called Ionian in the church modes. So then we're going to go up and descend through D Dorian, which Dorian is a minor mode, is the same as the minor scale, except you're going to use a sharp 6. So instead of, it's going to be kind of more melodic sounding, in my opinion. Perks you up a little bit when you hear it. So I believe Kirk would use this a decent amount. In E minor, that C sharp is that note. So we are going to descend through that. So that's going to be, we're going to do 15, 13, 12 on the 1st and 2nd strings. And then we're going to do 14, 12, 10 on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th strings. And then 13, 12, 10 on the 6th string. So we got... Next up is E Phrygian. Now, the cool thing about A minor and E minor is that they're only one note off. So if you make this Phrygian, if you make that F and F sharp, for all these modes, you're in the key of E minor. So really, like I said, by showing you this, you know multiple keys to play in, but that's for another day. So Phrygian is the same thing as the minor scale, except it's a flatted second. That's it. Instead of we have, and that's used all over metal. It's kind of evil sounding, that E to F. So we're going to ascend through that. So we're going to do 12, 13, 15 on the 6th string, 12, 14, 15 on the 5th and 4th strings. Then we're going to do 12, 14, 16 on the 3rd string. And then 13, 15, 17 on the 2nd and 1st strings. Okay, and then that brings us back to F Lydian, which is where we started, and we're going to descend through that. So we're going to go 19, 17, 15 on the 1st string, 18, 17, 15 on the 2nd string. We're going to do 17, 16, 14 on the 3rd string, 17, 15, 14 on the 4th string, 17, 15, 14 on the 5th string, and then 17, 15, 13 on the 6th string. And that brings us back to where we started. So let me play that slow for you, the whole sequence. So yeah, that's all the modes in A minor. If we were in standard tuning, say it again. And one last thing, he does this little run, which is great, but I know for a lot of you guys, if you're younger especially, that can be a big stretch. So I wanted to show you that same concept, but this is just how you can apply these shapes into your own playing. This is up at the B Locrian mode. So this is going to be, you're just going to take this shape, 7, 8, 10, and just play it up octaves. So we're going to do, and it sounds pretty cool. Just the same shape 3 times, but when you play it that fast, it's kind of hard to tell, oh, you're just playing those same notes over and over again. So again, that's going to be 7, 8, 10 on the 6th and 5th strings. Then we're going to do 9, 10 to 12 on the 4th and 3rd, and then 12, 13, 15 on the 2nd and 1st. So that's, the lesson. I wanted to just expand a bit upon that tidbit of wisdom Jim dropped. I agree with that, and just wanted to provide some insight on that. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Stay safe, stay sick, follow Convent. Peace.